Hey there, quirky peeps! Today we're going to put our sole focus on Kang the Conqueror. The MCU just introduced the next big bad after Thanos. Now he may not be as powerful as Thanos individually, but he'd still prove to be even deadlier because the entire multiverse is going to face a Kang bang. Several Kang variants are going to come in and lead us into a multiversal war. Thanos only threatened the existence of one universe, but all these Kang variants are going to threaten the entire multiverse. All of existence is at risk. But why should we really be afraid of Kang? What powers and abilities does he have to make all the heroes afraid to their core? Well, we'll be looking at his abilities now. But before we get to that, it would be nice if you guys would hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so you don't miss out on our future videos. Okay now, let's look at why we should fear the incoming Kang bang. Here are the powers and abilities that he possesses. Superior level intellect. Now I know that this technically isn't a superpower, but look at what Tony Stark did with his intellectual prowess. He figured out time travel and led the Avengers to victory.
We won. Mr. Stark.
He was just a human being, but his intellect allowed him to come up with the Iron Man armor. And that armor literally saved the universe from Thanos.
Where'd that come from?
It's nanotech, you like it?
So having a superior intellect is probably the kind of power that rivals everything else in the multiverse. Now there is a huge possibility that Nathaniel Richards from the 31st century will learn about time travel because of Tony's findings in the past. It was because of Doctor Doom in the comics, and in the MCU, it should be because of Tony. Marvel likes to connect everything, so the Tony Stark connection could make total sense. Anyway, Richards has a superior intellect which he used upon the advanced tech he found in the future. He conquered several worlds in the comics, but in the MCU, he conquered the entire multiverse, and it all began with his intellect.
And I ended the multiversal war. Once I isolated our timeline.
Now that several variants of Kang will be in play, we'll have all these geniuses threatening all that exists. Master Tactician.
Don't you wonder how I'm able to get out of the way just before you kill me?
Kang is extremely political savvy. It's safe to say that he is even better than Batman at devising strategies.
Just a little bit easier to kill.
With his intellect, he managed to conquer the multiverse. He created one sacred timeline narrative for all universes to follow so they don't start battling each other. He placed the Timekeepers at the helm of the TVA, and he made them watch over his sacred timeline while he wrote the narrative for all living people across the multiverse. According to him, this was the only way to prevent a multiversal war. So just imagine how much brainpower would have gone into devising eons worth of storylines for infinite universes.
Interesting that your head would go to that.
It's just crazy to even think about. I also think that he created the terrifying living AI that is Miss Minutes.
Are you recording or are you alive?
Sort of both.
She must have helped him with the sacred timeline narrative, just like Jarvis and Friday used to help Tony in executing his plans. Immortality.
You just walked down it.
He Who Remains revealed that he was much older than he looked.
And I'm older. I'm older than I look.
He could be thousands of years old. In the comics, Kang is over 70 years old. But everyone in his era have improved biology, which allows them to age much slower than the people from 21st century or the past. So Kang actually appears to be a man in his mid-40s. Now this may not seem to be a very surprising feat, but the real Timekeepers who existed in the comics offered him a deal after looking at his notorious time adventures. They offered him immortality in exchange of maintaining order in the multiverse. He took this offer and became Immortus. Now this is the version of Kang that we saw in the Loki finale. He was wearing the same outfit as Immortus from the books, but Marvel turned this Immortus version into He Who Remains.
A conqueror. He who remains. A jerk.
Although this version of Kang probably achieved immortality differently. He could have got it through the immortality machine that Smart Hulk created by fluke in Avengers Endgame.
Time travel! What?
Or it could have been with some other future tech. But anyway, the point is that with Kang's immortality and superior intellect, he managed to control progress of infinite universes. And now we're going to see what his other variants will do in the MCU. Skilled combatant.
A double, right? Well, guess what?
Along with his mental prowess, Kang also learned to fight, having all the time by his side. In the comics, he has tussled with likes of Captain America and many others. And now that he'll probably be the main villain of MCU's Secret Wars, he could end up battling several Avengers and even their variants from the multiverse. It will be interesting to see how he handles himself with his combat skills and his future tech and armor. In the comics, Kang's battle armor is produced from a rare synthetic alloy from the 40th century. So you see, this crazy person went 100 years in the future to get the most advanced armor possible. Just like Iron Man and Black Panther's latest suits, Kang's armor is also neurokinetic. It responds to his subconscious thoughts. He doesn't have any powers of his own since he is just human, but his armor allows him some crazy superhuman capabilities like super strength. He becomes as strong as an Eternal. The durability of his armor is actually even better than vibranium. That's because there's a force field shield that protects it. It is 2 feet away from his body, and it can extend up to 20 feet in all directions. So Kang can actually survive a head-on nuclear blast. If his opponents manage to pass that force field, then his armor also has a second layer of protection. This suit also allows him to travel through time. And what's crazy is that he can summon any weapon from any point in time. He can assemble an infinity gauntlet within seconds. That's a way too OP ability for any character. The armor also has a self-contained atmosphere, 30-day supply of food, and waste disposal system. So he can literally float in space for at least 30 days straight with just his armor. And the final craziest bit about his armor is that his helmet transfers his mind into a new body if he ever dies. Besides the armor, this master of time travel can send other people through space and time. He does that through his Light of the Centuries sphere. It travels at faster than light speeds and has unlimited fuel, and it can also hold people captive. After the sphere, we usually see him using his hover pad in his battles. He also has several other weapons, but we might see some original ones in the MCU. Weaponizing Aliath is probably among his greatest achievements so far in the MCU. Now let's see what the MCU will have to offer with the upcoming variants of Kang. Are you excited about the fact that he is the next big bad villain of Phase 4 and Phase 5? Let us know in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to check out some more fun videos on our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!